yeah, stare. We're live. Say hi, guys. Okay, what's your name?
My name is Mimi.
And what's your name?
Mia.
Okay, so this is interview number 4. And my name is Jalen. And what object did you choose?
I'm choosing my wedding band.
And can you describe your object to me?
Well, my wedding band is a ring. It's a ring and it's platinum. And yeah, and it has like diamonds. Yeah, it's like a wedding band.
Okay. Why is it significant to you?
Well, it's significant to me because it represents the promise that my husband and I made towards each other when we got married. So it's something that I treasure, and it's something that I wear with me every day. You agree, right? Yes. She agrees.
Okay. So you mentioned diamonds. Is diamonds your favorite jewelry?
I wasn't really a jewelry person prior to but they say that, diamonds are like a girl's best friend. So I guess the only jewelry that I wear, if you notice, is just my wedding band and my engagement ring. I guess it is now.
Okay, so platinum is platinum also a color that you like, or is
Well, it's. I think it's There's like white gold, silver, and I think we chose platinum because it's the I don't know why we chose platinum. I think because it's like the strongest. I don't know if I'm wrong, but the strongest type of I don't know. It just sounded nice. I guess platinum. I don't know. I don't know why we chose platinum. I guess it's stronger than those other types of mines. I don't know. I don't know. I'm just basing it off my thinking, my mind. Sorry. Next question.
I'm not laughing.
I don't know why you're laughing. We all
I'm joking.
Yes. Right, Mia.
Okay, so you mentioned that the ring reminds you of your guys' promise to each other. Besides your promise, the promise of marriage, are there any other promises that you made to each other?
Well, aside from the vows that we made when we exchanged our rings, of course we promised to love each other and then say our sorries towards the end of the day and never go to sleep without talking about our problems if ever we come across of any during that day. And of course, to always communicate. I think that's one of the things that we promise to each other, to communicate well.
Okay, so how long have you guys been married?
Well, we're gonna be what? We got married 2017, so it's going to be 2 years this coming Monday.
Ooh.
Yeah. But prior to that, we've been dating for since 2008, so almost 10 years, over 10 years now.
Okay, so since you guys have been married for 2 years, how has your communication gotten better?
It gotten better because in the beginning of our relationship, like with him, like I'm the type of person that wants to resolve the problem prior to going to bed, and he's the type of person that will just sleep it off. So I guess because I always tell them that I don't like going to bed like without talking about it. So he's gotten better, been resolving our issues for the end of the day, and it's getting better, and it's still a work in progress, but at least it's getting better.
Would you say communication is key to a marriage?
Yeah, 100%.
100%.
Yes.
Why 100%?
Because if you don't communicate, then how are you guys gonna be able to understand each other and be able to um, know each other's problems, or how each of you like feel? It's better to tell your significant other, your partner, everything, because if you tell them a lie, eventually they're gonna find out about it. So it's better to be truthful, because that's what marriage is about too. Aside from um, the promise that you made, you also need to commit yourself and be honest towards each other, and just that's all.
So would you say honesty and truthfulness is like value of yours?
Yes, it is. I'm the type of person that I easily give. I easily You can easily gain my trust, but once you break that trust, something that's gonna be hard to mend. So I value people's honesty, and I do the same in return. So once they do something that breaks that promise or that bond, it's hard for me to fix it. It's like something that's gonna take a while for them to gain that trust back again.
Would you say that you're always like that?
I think it's something that it's a value that I probably my parents had instilled in me. Growing up, they always told us to tell the truth and to always be open towards them. So I think it was something that I got accustomed to or got used to growing up.
Is that a value that you later teach
Yeah,
children?
of course. I will be teaching it to Mia. Yeah, Mia. When she's able to understand.
So you mentioned that you guys been together for 10 years prior to the 2 years of marriage. What was it like in that season?
It was, every relationship, there's struggles that you guys go through, but I think the reason why we probably lasted that long because we complemented each other. So the things that I lack, he he has it, and the things that he lacks, I kind of have it. So it's like we complement each other. So I think, and he's very patient. I think in a relationship too, it's important that you guys need to compromise and kind of meet halfway, because it's not fair if the woman in the relationship always gets it their way. So we need to kind of balance things out, and I think that's the reason why we lasted over 10 years prior to tying the knot.
Do you think that's the reason why, or gave you a reason to get married in the end? You always know you wanted to.
I think we always wanted. I think that was like before we even decided to get married, and when he proposed. I think halfway through that 10 years, we already knew that we kind of wanted to end in marriage, but I think we kind of needed to finish our studies, and then kind of get settled a little bit. So that's why we kind of waited a while. But we already knew that we're gonna end up in marriage, but it wasn't something that we're kind of in a hurry for. That's why we waited so long. Yeah.
there something that you would suggest to like someone if you're or your younger self like to wait till you guys are ready or like
I think so because like I mean I didn't wait, but I think like when it comes to relationship, don't be in a hurry of finding someone to, you know, to be with because if it's really for you, then it'll come. But I mean like honestly I didn't we weren't during the time in the beginning of our relationship, we weren't looking for a relationship, but it happened. You know, he just got out of the relationship, and then I was never in a relationship, and then it just happened. So I think it was kind of faith that brought us together. I believe. Yeah. Yes, I'm reminiscing.
so you mentioned that like he was in a relationship prior before you guys got together and you were. Is there a reason why you decided to wait to get into a relationship?
I don't know. I was always career, I guess, and more like study oriented. I always wanted to like finish, you know, get a degree and get a good job. You know, that was always my mentality before I settled down. So that's the reason why my focus was not finding a boyfriend. It was more like, you know, I need to get done with school and then get a job and then start helping my family. That was like my main focus before, but you know, it happened. So just have to go with the flow. And I'm glad it did in a way because it taught me a lot too. Because the things that I thought, you know, like all of us, each of us have like a perfect way, not a perfect, but like an imaginary guy that we kind of want, in a way, like he needs to be this and that. He needs to be, you know, the qualities that we look for. And when I met him, all the things that I wanted to have in a guy, like in a to have as a boyfriend, it wasn't all in him. Like the things that I disliked, he had it all. Like he had like tattoos and stuff like that, and those things I didn't really. I'm not gonna date someone that has tattoos, but he had it. So it's like learning to kind of like okay, which one are you gonna? You love this person, but you don't like that he has tattoos. So which one is more of a what is this like? Which one is more of a priority? So it was something that I learned to kind of, you know what, I guess there's not an ideal person or like a perfect person that you imagine. Just kind of or deal with something that's in front of you because you know you love that person and it makes you change the views that you had in the past. What a perfect person is.
Okay, so you mentioned that you didn't like tattoos.
Yes.
And there's other things that you didn't like about him. So, what are the things that I guess attracted you to him?
I think it's his um, I think the confidence in a way, confidence that he had, because I was, you know, I was never like, I was never in a relationship, and I wouldn't say that I lacked self esteem, but he kind of, you know, he kind of had that, so he kind of complimented me and it kind of helped me raise and boost my self esteem that you know I shouldn't be this and that. So I think he just had the confidence and he was charming and yeah. And yeah, he was just a good guy, even though he had tattoos.
Okay. Okay, so you mentioned that he kind of showed you or like helped you in your confidence level. How were you before then? Before you met?
I think I was, I don't know, like I don't know if I was the shy type, but I never thought that, I never thought I would ever be in a relationship, I guess. And the fact that he was the first one, so that kind of like, oh, I guess I'm not ugly looking after all.
Oh my god.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. No, because I was never like, oh no, it's like, yeah, just keep it that way.
Okay, so you did mention like career driven and study oriented. Did you end up going into your career?
Well, I went to nursing school. Yeah, I went to nursing school, and then while going to school, I was also like working part time to kind of get my foot out there. I was working in a nursing home. Yeah.
So after you graduated, what did you end up doing?
Well, I work. I still was work. I work. I still continue working in a nursing home and a memory support, and then I work at a dialysis facility also as a dialysis technician. And I finally got my license. So I haven't worked as a nurse yet, but hopefully soon I'll be able to find a nursing job. In the meantime, I'm operating a foster home with my husband, so that's a lot of work also.
Is there a reason why you didn't end up working as a nurse after?
Well, because I guess things just kind of got in the way. Not got in the way, but there were things that kind of well, I guess just say I wouldn't say got in the way because that sounds like a negative thing. But I think there are things that were more priority at that time that I needed to take care of. That's why I didn't really pursue a nursing career right after I graduated and got my license, and didn't really focus on like studying because I was more of like helping my mom here and there. My brother and my sister were in school, and I don't know, there were just a lot of things that was going on. So my focus was kind of in the way of me studying. That's why I didn't get my license right after graduation. Oh, no. Yeah, it's tired. Little daddy. Bring her down.
No.
No. Okay, down. Sit. Wait. Yeah.
You mentioned you was helping your mom and your siblings were in school. What were you doing? Like,
Well, my mom also had a foster. Well, prior to me having my foster home, my mom also had her foster home. So we were kind of helping each other out, with taking care, helping her out with taking care of the patients. So, I think that was kind of, in a way, good that she had that kind of business because it helped us. Was able to help all of us to go to school, I guess, to pay for like the expenses. So in a way, we need to kind of help out too. So yeah, and I think just things just got in the way, and I wasn't able to focus, even though I studied and stuff like that. But I guess I failed also my nursing license. But I think it wasn't something that really when I failed, I was in a point of like depression because I never really thought that I'd fail because never in my I guess in my school career that I experienced failure because I guess I can say I was always an overachiever, that I never really allowed myself to fail anything. So when I failed the first time I took it, it really took me, it brought me like down, and I kind of felt like, oh, why is this happening to me? So it took a while for me to get back up and realize that, you know what, I need to start studying again, and I need to take my tests again. So that's probably why it kind of delayed me getting my license. I'm just kidding.
Hi, Mia. Okay, so you mentioned that you're an overachiever.
Oh yeah.
Is that everything?
No, I mean, it's not really an overachiever, but I'm like the type of person that, if I plan something, I kind of expect it to go the way I planned it, or maybe it's more like, I don't know. It was something that, if I work hard to get it, then I'm gonna. It's like it's meant for me. Then it's going to happen. So I think, like, I don't know. I was never really, I don't know, I just always aim for like good grades and stuff like that because the way I was brought up, I guess back in like middle school and like high school, like whenever we would get A's, my parents would pay for our A's. So it was something that kind of like, oh, I need to do well because it was something that will make my parents proud.
Mhm.
That's the only way you can repay them, for you to have good grades, so that their hard work will also, they feel like their hard work is worth it. They're working hard because they want to be able to provide for their kids. So I think, like, that's the reason why I always wanted to do good in school so that I can make them proud. No, that's it.
Okay. So you mentioned that you guys used to get paid for good grades. How much you guys made?
No, because we never get allowance, in school before. Because we have free lunch, so we never get allowance. So I think when we were in middle school, because there are like 7 subjects or 6 subjects, it was like $5 per A. In high school, I think we only had like 4 subjects in high school, so it was like $20 per A. I think $20 or $10, something like that. So that was our way of that was my way of earning money, because whenever I want to buy something, like, it's not as easy for me to get it. Like, I remember my dad. I remember I wanted a watch, a Casio watch, and then my dad had to half with me. So, like, he's not just gonna get me the watch. You need to pay half, and I pay half. So I guess it was his way of like teaching us that we need to work hard for what we want. So, yeah, which is something that I think is a good way of teaching kids how to properly use money, not just, because, like, quarter is there's like 4 quarters in a year, so earning money is not that easy. Aside from doing good grades, you have to wait every quarter for you to be able to get paid for your A's. So we have to use our money wisely when we want something.
Good. Good job.
Much firm.
So when you you mentioned you failed your test the first time. How long did it take you to retake your test?
It's quite a while. It's quite a while, but you know, I think I just told myself that maybe it's not meant for me yet. There's always like a perfect time for everything. So I think that's what I kind of help to. Like if it's maybe I'm not passing because like God knows that it's not meant for me yet. So I shouldn't, you know, I shouldn't rush into things. So I just kind of, you know, continued my prayers and continued studying. And my mom was always there pushing me to like to you know to continue studying. And it's also good to surround yourself with like proper people that are not only will push you to be a better person, but you know to encourage you. Because I think that was kind of helpful too in a way, because of my friends, they're all professionals, they're all nurses, so we kind of like motivate each other and like push each other to never you know settle for less, but always strive for better, to be a better. So I think that's what I kind of held on to. So whenever you know I come to a point where I'm like, you know what, it's taking so long, I just you know, I just remind and tell myself that maybe because it's not being given to me, and because God knows that I'm not ready for it. So I think when it was given to me, when I did pass my test, I felt like it was the perfect timing for me to have passed it, because you know my brother was done with school and my sister was almost done with school. So in a way, it's like it's my time. It's my time to shine. So yeah. So it happened. I passed it at a perfect time. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Um, let's see. Almost found me. So, what is the biggest thing I guess you've learned throughout this experience?
Which one?
I guess like your whole
Just life in general.
Yeah.
I think you just have to be. I think you just have to be patient. Like you know, like if you think about it, like your life is borrowed. So from the day you were born, there's already a plan for you. And I think it's just a matter of discovering yourself, and it's like a test of patience. I mean, God is not gonna give like problems to you if He knows that you're not able to resolve them on your own. So problems and struggles that comes along the way is just a way for you to. It's just a way for you to strengthen your belief towards Him. And I think patience is really is a key to everything, and timing, I think too. So,
So you mentioned God a lot. Is that part?
yes.
Part of
Yeah, I think there are times when you know, like when we're faced with problems, and we tend to like question if he's there, if he's ever there. But in my like experience, yeah, don't eat me. In my experience, even though like I mentioned earlier, like with my examiner, that was like the biggest thing that I really wanted to accomplish, you know, to be a nurse, be registered. And I think when I failed, like there was never a time in my failure that I ever questioned his presence. Like I never I never blamed him for anything, because I knew that I guess it wasn't my time yet. So I just continued to believe, and it's really true that when you want something and you really work hard and you ask, you ask and you shall receive. So I think he was the biggest. He is the reason why like I'm living this life of comfort and happiness. Yummy, yeah. Because he was always there for me.
So do you say that even before you got married, your husband, say that was something that you prayed for?
Like finding a husband
Yeah.
and getting married. It wasn't something that I like. I think it was just something that if it's gonna happen to me, then it'll happen. But if it doesn't happen, then it's okay. Yeah. So I don't wanna like how do you say this? Like I don't wanna how do you say it in English? I don't want to beat him to the plans that he has for me. So it's not like I have to find my partner by the time I'm 25. I don't want to be like the one that's dictating him. When I'm gonna get married, when I'm gonna have a child. So it was something that if getting married or having a child is meant for me, then I'm willing to I'm willing to accept it. But if it's not, then it's okay. Either or, I'm still gonna be happy.
Okay, that concludes.
Yay! Yeah, done!
Thank you. What?
Yay!